And so, on a match day soaked in significance, we welcome one and all to a postcard in Portland, where today's match is presented by Visit Maine. And around these parts, the main attraction just so happens to be the Hearts. It's Portland Hearts of Pine, stirred up and anxious to make acquaintance of Charlotte Independence at the playoff edge. Another piece of the plot in the USL League One regular season. Howdy, folks. With the MLS veteran Amir Lowry, I am Peyton Gallagher, and this is the picture where all the points become so important. Portland Hearts of Pine looking up at their adversary today with the games in hand, but having to do some work below that red playoff line. Charlotte Independence on a skid and in the 5 spot just out of the home games as we step into today. And for this that has been rickety on the road. They have been hit hard away from the state of North Carolina these last 5 ventures outside of their friendly confines. And in this game today, it will be a struggle for them defensively. Communication will be key.
Yeah, it's a big game for them to perform defensively. They gave up some early goals in the beginning of the first half and second half last week. Coach Mike Jeffries talked about them being a little bit flat. They're going to have to raise the intensity tonight.
Sway Boomeroo was the lone silver lining in that game against Union Omaha. He scored in that one to bring his tally on the season to 8, and confidence so important this time of year.
Yeah, this is it for the home stretch. The last 10 games, you really need that momentum, need that confidence building within the team. They'll be looking for Maru to get off the blocks to a quick start tonight.
We will see if Mike Jeffries has chosen Sway Boomeroo to be in the starting 11. That will be on the other side of a break. Lineups and kickoff coming up next. Here in the state of Maine, it's Portland Hearts of Pine and Charlotte Independence on the other side of a break.
Hey.
Hey.
Allagash, wait for you. Can I get you a beer?
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. What you thinking? Choose one.
I'll go for Allagash White, too.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Start your night with Allagash White.
Today's broadcast is presented by Visit Maine. lineups hot off the press, presented by NBT Bank, and it is that signature 4-2-3-1 today. Walter Varela off the right.
Yeah, we got Messer, Koulibaly, Green, Vinberg here, rounding out the back four, Mikey Lopez and Punanjaran. And then the front four there, Wada, Wright, Varela, and Kafifta will be very critical tonight, just to get them on the board early.
And for Mike Jeffries, this is what Charlotte Independents are working with. It's a similar shape, a 4-2-3-1. We will see how Njai and Sis operate in and around the pivot. It is Sway Boobaroo in the number 9 to start, as we are about prepared, partner, to look out towards those live pictures and really feel the sound of a special venue here in Portland. This is the heartbeat of a place that has come to love this beautiful game. Portland Hearts of Pine and Charlotte Independents at odds in the USL League One. Charlotte stumble into this one, having only won one of their last 9 league games. Portland's are flying as of late with only 1 defeat in their last 6, and we are underway here in the state of Maine. It is Portland Hearts of Pine and Charlotte Independents. Peyton Gallagher here for you, as well as the MLS vet, Amir Lowry. It should be an excellent game, one that certainly, as you feel the sound for the first time, feels special always here.
Yeah, you talk about the culture that's been built here with Portland Hearts, and you can see it, right? The full stands, right? The community atmosphere, and they're going to be bringing a ton of energy and passion to this match. You feel the playoff atmosphere already building.
And just in talking to Mike Jeffries and Charlotte step into this game, their understanding of what will be required by this environment. It's been slow starts, something that you saw when they played Union Omaha this last week. Mike Jeffries confirmed your assumption there. Not the best communication, in the words of the manager for Charlotte.
Yeah, I just think that their urgency, their level of urgency and intensity to start the last match wasn't where they wanted it. And they're going to have to see this first 5-10 minutes out without conceding a goal. Hopefully get a foothold in this match early to be able to find some success.
They're under duress straight away. Masashi Wada strikes one just narrowly high. He was ready to shoot as soon as the ball arrived at his feet and did not miss out by much.
Yeah, transition moment there. Wada there picking up the ball in a nice little pocket on top of the box. Didn't maybe get his foot around it the way he wanted to touch that far corner.
Masashi Wada back in the team. Missed the last home game, nursing a bit of a hip injury. He has been a key cog, especially in the creation department. He's looking for that 3rd goal on the season there. Got the fans up and bouncing straight away.
Good opportunity early from Portland.
Sun spiraling by the goalkeeper Levy, Matt Levy. Entering today, leading the league in saves. As for tonight's keys to the game, presented by Pape Chevrolet. For Portland, taking risks was important. Immediately up and at them to start this game off.
Yeah, they're going to want to get on top of this game very early. Look to play through that attacking mid in Wada and through their wingers, Varela and Wright. They're going to want to put Charlotte on the back foot early and then find opportunities as much as possible to threaten the net.
On the other side of that coin, Charlotte, and trying to keep that defensive shape and stay on balance, not looking so hot straight away.
Yeah, we talked about before the match, just limiting opportunities in transition, which you saw there. And right, they're going to have to be very careful the way they attack with their fullbacks on the flanks, pushing very high, leaving those spaces in between the fullback and the center backs. Going to have to make sure that they're cautious in some moments to make sure that they're not conceding easy chances.
Swept wide, the cross comes, Kavifta just missing out. Goalkeeper was on top of it. Matt Levy ends the threat. It's another warning shot from Portland's. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Maine Health, and both these sides fairly fit coming into this pivotal stretch in the season. They've taken their lumps throughout the year, but are ready to do what is required in this run and stretch. 1-1 in the mid-park. Charlotte will have a throw. Becerra. For the first time tonight, Charlotte Independence able to break through that first wave of pressure. Been a calling card for Portland. They have averaged the most pressing takeaways in the USL League One this year, especially at home, averaging just over 5 per game, the opponent's final third.
Here you see them coming down the right. Fabrice Ngah really stretching the field there, up down the left side. You can look to see that on both sides with both fullbacks really advancing high up the pitch. This is a good picture right now of their attacking shape.
Using the full distance on this narrow surface and getting into the final third. A sharp little bit of dribbling at the end line. The cross is blocked and it will be a corner kick, the first of the night for Charlotte. Charlotte queuing for a set piece. Tumi Moshabane, freshly acquired in the last couple of months, is preparing for this corner kick. It is a Toms of Maine corner kick. And it is an early opportunity for Charlotte Independence to set a foothold. Morse is pinned in. Karams off the head of Nick Spielman. And they will reset to do it again from a different angle.
Yeah, obviously these deliveries, these set pieces as an away side are going to be very important for Charlotte tonight. They got some big bodies, some nice height coming into the box. John Becerra, obviously very talented player, second in the league in assists. He's going to have to give some good balls, good service into the box.
With in swing from Becerra, it's a teasing ball across the bow. And it goes rumbling out past the touch line, and it's going to be a Portland throw.
Great opportunity there. Unlucky to see that ball just drift across the 6-yard box. No willing Charlotte player really making the effort to get on the end of that directed goalwards.
Immediately it is a press chosen by manager Mike Jeffries, and unfortunately in this occasion it will be a handball that lets Portland off the hook. So when the field narrows like this, it is a tighter surface. How much more effective does a press become?
Yeah, it's important, I think, to stay on top of an opponent, especially if you're the home side, used to playing on a field like this with these dimensions. But all the more important with the smaller pitch to make sure you're getting pressure on the ball, especially in these midfield areas, denying any potential balls in behind, because there's a little bit less space to operate in.
Charlotte trying to make use of it on the ball now. Javen Romero goes direct. Kamali Green rising to the occasion. Away by Punandron. Settled by Omar Sis. Romero. Youngster brought in from LAFC 2, only 19 years of age in this cauldron today. Portland being a bit choosy here about their pressure.
Yeah, you can see how they're setting up here early on and what their pressing triggers are. Now as the ball starts to go back and it starts to go wide, okay, you can see Wada, Kafifta, right, ready to pounce on those opportunities when it's on.
You talk about triggers, and that man coming up with that, Bobby Murphy, is a clever mind in this league and previously proving himself at MLS Next Pro levels. A manager that will set his team up to try and exploit every little weakness provided by an opponent. What have you seen so far for triggers from Portland?
You know, as they're pressing here, you can see that when there's a negative pass or a square pass in the back or in the midfield area, that seems to be a clear cue for the team to start to squeeze and press forward. Right? They a little bit unlucky in this moment, but you can see the discomfort it's causing early in the game here with Charlotte.
And there is Mike Jeffries. One of the more experienced managers in this division and really in the American game at large. You don't see many men get a decade of service with any particular club these days.
Yeah, that's definitely hard to do. And Mike Jeffries certainly has the pedigree and the experience to lead this side. You can tell the success that they've had thus far. And this being their first trip to Portland, I think he'd be eager to come out of here with a positive result for his team.
Just speaking to the experience that Jeffries has had, if he's able to get a draw today, he will have reached triple figures in wins, losses, and draws as a manager over his 14 seasons helming respective teams. Vaquero making some headway now. Moshe Bonnet, well-weighted cross at the back post. And it's airmailed over the top. A late arriving runner nearly burst a pipe. As Clay Dimmick, the captain, was on the scene.
Yeah, a little slip ball from Vaquero. The cross comes to the backside to Dimmick. Would have been a wonder strike if he got his foot on top of this ball. Like the effort and the ambition to take that first time. Just a little bit unlucky there, couldn't get over it.
Has scored once already this season. No player has registered more minutes in the USL League One over the last 2 seasons than Clay Dimmick. Couldn't seize the moment there, though. Only right, unable to untangle himself. Charlotte able to win the joust for the custody of the ball.
Yeah, there you saw Charlotte's press, pinning Portland back, winning the ball in a decent area there. I think they'll be looking to do much more of that. Again, given the conditions and the surface and the dimensions of the pitch, you want to make sure they're squeezing the ball as high up the pitch as possible. I think as they do that, the midfield three for each team becomes more and more important. Who's winning those 50-50 battles, those individual battles, right? Getting on the ball, being able to dig it out or make a tackle or win that ball, and then starting some attacks from those positions.
Ball out of play. It requires a certain level of bravery, I would think, to get into those tight spaces and have the confidence in yourself to play through lines.
Yeah, certainly it does, and especially on a tight pitch like this where the crowd's on top of you. Going to take the players probably a few minutes to just settle in here, especially Charlotte, given that they haven't played at this venue before.
It's a cheeky little ball sent centrally, but it may come at a price as Portland pounce. Sean Vinberg starting at right back today, typically a center back. Able to get his side moving forward, but now they try it with Nathan Messer. Not on the same page with Masashi Wada as he was making that banana-shaped run.
Yeah, I think through the first 12 minutes here, Mike Jeffries will be happy with the start. And Charlotte definitely seems up for the task tonight. Much more up for it than their previous match.
Away by Levy. A quarter hour gone. Fabrice Nka under duress.
What a piece of skill.
He's still running. This is a player that's playing with a wide grin these days. 5 goals on the year for Fabrice Nka, more than the entire accounting of his career coming into this season. He's been so good this year.
Yeah, he's been a phenomenal attacking presence for Charlotte. You see the skill there as he scooped it over the defender's head and went run around him, unlucky not to keep the ball and start an attack. But just a glimpse of what he brings to the game and his confidence moving into the forward positions.
Rainbowing in behind and going immediately with Sway Boubarou, but in fact had gone too quickly as he's called offside. J.C. Griggs is the referee today. It's Fritz Barbarousse on the line as they are one, and Adam Cook on the other. Andrew Parada is calculating the board as the 4th. Heavy touch. That's been lost by Varela. Advantage being played. Driven wide by Sorensen. The cross comes all the way across the goal mouth. Hunter Morse just flapping at it. Taking ownership at the top of the box, Charlotte Independence, as they grow into the game increasingly.
Yeah, they're getting a nice little foothold, backing Portland up, putting some dangerous balls into the box.
Maru, whether that was Tumi Moshabane, who had made the overlapping run, he was looking for Maru in the center, and the cross is blocked out for a corner.
Yeah, here you see Baquero drifting into a wide area, tries to find a back post, no willing runners there, no teammates there, but this is a dangerous ball, right? Just needs somebody there who's breaking themselves to get to the back post and find that tap in.
That being said, it feels like Charlotte are moving very decisively early.
Definitely.
Thompson Main, corner kick coming. Baquero. It's another decent delivery, and it's speared wide again by Spielman, who's finding the groove, attacking these set pieces, the big man.
It's just unlucky here. Another good service into the back post area. Spielman gets a good leap, just can't redirect it into that far corner.
Portland aren't a team that necessarily love to have the ball. They're happy to play against it. Maybe not to this extent, though. They've only seen 30% of the possession this first quarter hour. Sega Koulibaly. Kvyefta over his head, the big man. Down by Varela. Ollie right. And spread into Nathan Messer. Shuttled in towards Kvyefta, who puts his back to goal.
Portland finally getting some sustained possession here, able to back Charlotte off a bit, connect a few passes, see if they can find some rhythm now.
Punanjaran. Searching for Wada. Moshabane takes hold. And Ga. Off of Swebu Maru. It just feels so relaxed right now from Charlotte in the face of pressure.
Yeah, they do look very calm, very confident on the ball. I think that's just the effect of starting the game in a positive way with the correct mentality, right? That's going to lead to building that confidence and them growing into the game.
On cue, though, a little bit overly casual in the mid-park. Portland get engaged in the attack. Varela has shown too much of the ball to Fabrice and Ga.
That's going to be an important individual battle there. Fabrice and Ga and Varela, you know, two players that are going to show a lot on both sides of the ball, but more interested to see what Nga can do and how he can contain Varela. Here you see him coming forward.
Nga in the final third, angled towards the back post and overcooked in the cross, but how quickly it opened up on the counterattack. Nga making things happen on the attacking end and defensive.
Yep. It's a good 1v1 play he had there against Varela. Like I said, that will be an important individual battle. Two experienced players, and we'll see how that continues to play out. For now, Nga has gotten the best of it.
Our meeting between these two teams was a 1-1 draw. Nga scored the opener there, only to be pegged back by fellow fullback Nathan Messer late on. It's been the same story so far in this one. Both teams building down opposite flanks. Spielman can't get clear. Sis is in a bind. That's a clean tackle. Punanjaran. A chance on the break. Swebu Maru. He's got pace. And in his sights, it's Sega Koulibaly. Reinforcement coming. Nga could not outwit Walter Varela. It's one back by Portland. Koulibaly reacting well. Varela. Portland have a chance on the break the other way. In acreage now, it's Ollie Wright. Ollie Wright. And Messer picking up the pieces, but not before the tackle. This is breakneck stuff in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is. We talked about the pitch dimensions and how that would play out in the game. You see both teams really trying to press aggressively high up the field, win the ball back in the attacking third of the field. And it's a little bit frantic at times. Both teams maybe not taking care of possession as much as they would like. But let's see how they settle down, and I'm sure both teams will be looking to get a foothold a little bit more possession as we enter this last 30 minutes of the first half.
Then box office so far, the big stage here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. There's always an audience. They have averaged the highest share of overall fan participation of any team in the league. 5,700 per game packed in here. That would be the 9th best total in the USL Championship. That's what Portland are doing in terms of the crowds in 2025. And they have been stouts in this park, only having been defeated once this season in the league by AV Alta. Attaching himself is only right, starting to find that little bit of rhythm. Mikey Lopez turning one in for Vinberg. Varela carves in across, it comes skipping free. Time enough to build from the back for Charlotte. One well. It's laid off on the floor. Kavifta! It was stabbed back dangerously. And that bit of recovery does just enough for Charlotte, as they will have to dig in and defend once more ahead of a set piece.
Yeah, here, transition moment. Messer does well. Little cutback looking for his striker's feet. And that was a dangerous clearance and tackle facing his own goal. Could have gone anywhere. Looked like it might have been headed for the far post. Honestly, a little bit lucky there just to see a corner coming in.
This is a Toms of Maine corner kick, and those folks have received the invitation to get involved in the game. They provide the atmosphere. Out of this corner, Portland are the only team in this division yet to score one this year in league play. The ball comes, and Levy makes short work of it. Still though, good signs of life from Portland.
Yeah, definitely some positive signs here in the last few minutes, generating some opportunities, some good crosses into the box. Just putting a bit more pressure on Charlotte, which is what they need to do at home here.
It is a Portland team that will be playing with urgency. They will know they have the games in hand, but never comfortable when the calendar turns towards September, to look up at the playoff line and understand that if the thing started today, you're out of the dance.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You look at the season as in sections, right?
Sure.
And each moment is different, a little bit different, and obviously the importance is even more heightened now, right? To make sure you're positioning yourself, make sure you're taking points. If you're Portland, you're looking at these points at home as vital to have in the run-in to make sure you finish above that playoff line.
Punanjaran, that's a useful turn. An even more useful ball. Varela. Walter Varela. Lost it in the lights. Entering today as we take a peek at exactly what's going on around the league. You know that Portland's, with this game, are facing a team that's above that playoff line. They will see several. 8 of the remaining 11 games, though, are against teams currently above them in the table. 4 of those 12 are versus teams that are within 3 points of their current position. As we start play today, this is the first game of the match weekend, this 5 p.m. slot here on the Saturday. Another big one going on in the Volunteer State. One Knox and Spokane, a clash of seeds 2 and 3. As things stand, Ollie Wright. Walter Varela couldn't pick that final lock. Wright shaping one into the corner. It's so often his partner, Messer, who latches on. Wada has lost the leash on it. Done his best to try and win it back. It's a clattering challenge. Advantage presents, though, for Charlotte, who neatly and adroitly work their way through that first block of pressure. And it will be a throw-in for them. The USL on the CBS Sports Network kicks off September with a League One battle. Playoff contender Spokane Velocity SC take on newcomer Westchester SC Sunday, September 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Clash of a pair of teams that would have been right next to each other on Portland's schedule, but that Spokane match having to be rescheduled for travel delays. Spokane game has been assigned another date in the month of October, which will be a big one. Spokane will be angling for the #1 seed at that point. Portland, who knows where they'll stand with how closely that pack is. Really feels like there are two races starting to form now. Those home playoff games and the overall 1 seed. Those who will even be able to participate in the knockout tournament at the ends. Bit of a blind ball across the bow as Vinberg is able to arrive in time enough to at least draw a foul from Tumi Moshabane. So you've played in games with stakes like this before. What is the difference between playing with urgency and playing tight?
You know, you still have to find some calm and a relaxed posture about some of these moments. You can't be too tense, right? And can't be too tight, to your point. You do have to have an increased sense of, okay, executing what the demands of the tactical system are, you know, executing based on, okay, supporting your teammates, making sure that, you know, you're doing everything possible to support your team, right? Never taking any play for granted. I think that's really what it comes down to. And then understanding that the margins are so small, right? From conceding a goal, scoring one, etc.
Ollie Wright, a probing pass into Kvifta. The flag's down. The shot is not going to trouble Matt Levy much. Hits straight at him. It all starts with Ollie Wright. Kvifta unable to provide the final product.
Yeah, finds a nice pocket of space there. Good find from Ollie Wright. Kvifta works his feet, gets a defender on the move. I think he's trying to cut back across the keeper. Little deflection, unlucky not to make a save.
And it's scrambled away. Sega Koulibaly making his 3rd successive league start. Will have to shepherd it out for a corner kick the other way.
Back and forth stuff here.
Mike Jeffries hinted at the fact that Independence would be willing to maybe be a little bit more direct on this surface today, and that has borne true.
Yeah, he talked about playing through the press quickly and looking to get in behind. You see any time that there is a midfielder for Charlotte on the half turn, they're looking to get that ball in behind the defenders.
It's an easy claim on that Tom's of Maine corner kick for Hunter Morse. Other side have been able to muster that really meaningful moment. Punandron. Kvifta peeling wide. Did well with the hold-up part, but couldn't put it on the plate for Varela. And now Nga. Whether that actually Tumi Moshabane. Omar Sis presenting. Maru is making the run, but unfortunately for him, so is Hunter Morse. Punandron sends one sailing into the path of Ollie Wright now. Ollie Wright laid off. It's a beautifully weighted ball for Masasiwata, who does not dare miss. He takes his moment. A half-hour gone. It's 1-0. Portland climb in front.
Yeah, and that is a golazo from Wada. And a great team goal from Portland. Love to see this. We talked about it in the run-up to the game. We talked about what were going to be the keys. Punandron plays a nice diagonal ball. Ollie Wright drifting in behind the defense. And then look at the composure as he picks out Wada. The first time finish, top bins. The keeper's going to have to dig that one out. And now Charlotte down 1-0. Facing another difficult task. And a lot of adversity here away from home in Portland.
Finish looks easy. It's a lot harder than it might appear in that moment.
100%. Very difficult finish. To time that, to make sure your body shape is right, make sure you stay over the ball. Very easy to hit that ball over the crossbar. but Wada obviously brings a ton of experience from coming from Japan, his experience playing in the J League. Right, you saw that on display here today with that technical finish. Great way to support his team, to get his team the lead, right? 1-0.
That goal is brought to you by Town and Country. And they are feeling the love here in Maine. Portland out in front and looking for much more. Wada again. Masashi Wada laid off for Ollie Wright, who's a touch late to it. Takes a bang, it's out for a throw. It's a sudden ambush as Charlotte Independence are certainly feeling the temperature turn on that.
It's not the moment that you want to see from Charlotte right after conceding a goal. Okay, you got to regroup a bit quicker than that. I mentioned how they battle back from this adversity. These next few minutes, very important for this Charlotte side to maintain their composure away from home.
They're rushing forward. That is a monstrous tackle from Vinberg to snatch custody of the ball back. Koulibaly, heavy first touch as he rambles into the mid-park. Down by Punandron, who opens things up again from deep. Portland have only dropped 2 games this year in which they have found a goal. And you see exactly how effective they have been when they score first. Having claimed on the season a handful of points. When they throw the first blow, they rarely do. They've not been a fast-starting team this year. Charlotte has been an opposite story, as they have been able to pick up a couple points from those losing positions on the campaign, a total of 8. But with how things have been going defensively for Charlotte Independence, it's maybe a bit of a grotesque sign of how things might play out if they don't get their heads back. Varela will give it a chase. Worked out well by Charlotte Independence as they commence their climb back into this contest. Vaquero dropping a line to try and conduct from a deeper area. What kind of thing does that do to maybe pull apart a defensive shape when the 10 is willing to drop into that first phase of build-up?
I think it's done well. It's been a good wrinkle for Charlotte here in this first 30 minutes, having Vaquero coming back, getting on the ball, dictating some things to allow them to have a numerical advantage, create a bit of an overload there in the middle. Unfortunately, it hasn't really produced the chances that they'd want, but I'd say they got to stick with it.
Sis is hurried. It's back in for Rivero. And now Spielman. Floated into the center. Vaquero plays immediately. Maru's going to catch up to it. Forced off the path by Messer. But you said it, as Kamali Green dices with danger at the back and lifts those from their seats. Goes out for a throw. Good moment to try and immediately get in behind. And with this pause and play, good time to tell you that you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Friday, September 5th, Phoenix Rising FC take in Las Vegas Lights FC at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. That's on Saturday, September 6th, and then Rhode Island FC square off against Louisville City. That is at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Just revisiting that moment ago, though. It is once more that searching ball in behind. That's opened things up for Charlotte. Now encamping at the top of the box. Moshabane. Happy to let it lie for what appears to be another corner kick.
Yeah, Charlotte won't feel too bad about how they've performed so far this first half. A couple lapses, especially on that goal, but so far pretty even. I think they're going to be looking to capitalize on one of these set pieces or corner kicks.
Thompson main corner kick for Vaquero, who sculpts the ball into the box. It sits up. Some calls for handball. And what's the word of the referee? Based on the faces of the players, it looks like it will be a penalty.
Yeah, just the coming together of several players there in the box. You'd have to see the replay here. Good ball in again from Vaquero, who's been a key player. I'm not sure about that one. Arm looks down by his side for me. For the Portland player, somewhat in a natural position, not extended from his body. You can tell why the Portland players are a little bit upset with that call.
Now, there is no video-assisted referee, so this call will absolutely stand without reproach. And should also be mentioned that J.C. Griggs had a very good vantage there to see the ball land as we take one more look at exactly what happened.
Yep, it's going up, goes for his head. Maybe he's a little bit unsighted when the ball's going over his teammate's head. Doesn't see it clearly, ends up coming off his arm. Gotta say that's a bit unlucky for Green. Just a tough call. Sometimes that's how the ball bounces.
Hunter Morris has failed to save either of the penalties that he has seen in the league this year. I think that is the key point, though. If you're Kamali Green, I don't know how you react to that ball in any other way. You don't see it to the last second.
No, it's very difficult, especially when you're a player. You're jostling, you're fighting for position. That ball is coming over your teammates' heads who are jumping for it. You're not sure who's going to make contact, who's not. Just, like I said, very unlucky to be in that place with his arm positioned in that way. And then, got to say, the ref maybe doesn't have the best view of it to see where the positioning of the arm is and how clear this penalty might be.
Christian Chaney is the typical taker. He is not starting the game. Clay Dimmick was protecting the ball. And it looks like the big man, Nick Spielman, will step to the spot. Center back that's seen almost more action than any player in the USL League One the last couple of years. Their team leader in almost every distribution category, touches, passes. He never gets this close to goal on anything but a corner kick. He is eye to eye with Hunter Morse. It's Spielman, it's 1-1. No cause for doubt, and Charlotte certainly take advantage of their lifeline.
They certainly did. Calmly dispatched penalty from the center back. Rarely you see a big man like that stepping up from the back to take a penalty. You see it again here. Well, this is the penalty call off his arm. No doubt that it hit his hand. Questions whether or not it's in a natural position. And then Spielman here just sees the keeper, sends him the wrong way. Cool, easy finish into the left-hand bottom corner of the net.
He has now converted his last 5 penalties, 4 of them going low and to the left. Same story writes itself, and Spielman has his team back on even footing. There were stakes coming in. It has played that way.
Yeah, and you could tell. I think this is just what we needed to bring the game to life even more. And both of these teams will be eager to continue getting after each other here for the next 10 minutes of this half. And I'd expect more goals in this match for sure.
Charlotte have had plenty of track meets this year. Pension for the crazy game, had that wild 5-4 against Greenville Triumph. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Maybe we can get you hooked up with a Portland Hearts of Pine ticket in the near future. Feels like a pilgrimage worth making.
Yeah, I would love to make that trip. Soak up this atmosphere. Get in the crowd there with the supporter section. Looks like he's buzzing there tonight at Fitzpatrick.
Nathan Messer sets those fans alight. The ball is not equally measured. Mikey Lopez, that took a bit of ambition, and the veteran takes it on the half volley, tilting it just so tall.
Yeah, you can see here Messer again creating a lot of positive attacks down that left-hand side. Ball comes up out of midfielder. As a midfielder, Mikey Lopez, you got to take that strike on. Just looking to get your technique right. Don't have to hit it too hard, but unfortunate to just get a little bit underneath it there.
Feels like there could be some determining power in whatever might unfold over these next 10 minutes. How the game is played, it is not beyond the realm of imagination to see 1 or 2 more goals maybe flying in before we hit the curtain fall.
Yeah, it's these critical moments we always talk about, right? The last 5 or 10 minutes of a half, or the beginning of a half. Charlotte, we mentioned, has conceded goals in some of these positions. I'm sure they'll be super cued in. And anybody who can make a breakthrough now, going to have a big advantage going into the second half.
Just in talking about Charlotte and where they are right now, it's plagued them throughout the course of the year. They've conceded 18 of their overall 34 goals allowed in the final 15 minutes of the first or second half. They have had trouble closing. Off the face of Masashi Wada and kept in circulation by Javen Romero, and because of the potential for a head injury, the referee will smartly stop this. It does look like Masashi Wada is all right beyond maybe just a ringing of the bell. Referee making the right decision to just absolutely be certain of that fact.
Never pleasant when you're closing a ball down and you get smacked in the face with the clearance.
Yeah,
Glad to see he's okay.
I can't imagine that would be a pleasant time. How often did that happen to you? Too many times? Yeah.
Maybe not in the face, somewhere else. But
less said about that, the better.
Got to sacrifice your body, though. Got to sacrifice your body.
Whatever it takes.
Yep.
In for Hunter Morse. Referee has stopped play again. It looks like there is a Portland player down, and at a glance, it doesn't look like this is a very comfortable picture for Sega Koulibaly. Veteran who has fought so hard. Portland fans will be well aware of his story, having been at a high level playing in MLS for LA Galaxy, having a couple injuries, and being put in a position where the last 2 years he's been fighting tooth and nail just to keep his career going. As he is down and being examined, these home fans have been so thoroughly behind him. This home field advantage, I love these players feel from these supporters, has put them in a position where this has become a fortress from day one.
Yeah, and we heard it from Mikey Lopez and Bobby Murphy this week, talking to them about this upcoming match. You know, Mikey Lopez talking about just the commitment and the dedication from the players and wanting to perform for these fans. I think that injects a lot of extra energy and passion into the players, right? When you have a fan base like this that's as engaged as they are. And you see it with their results. You see it with the positive flow that they've had when they've been in this building. And nothing beats that when you have that 12th man around you, supporting you, whatever happens.
We got to talk about that exact topic with Mikey Lopez this week. Coach was kind enough to have him in the office and bring him on to our production call. And he mentioned, you know, as a player who's been at the absolute highest peaks of the game, Mikey Lopez has played on some really big stages. Said this one was one of a kind. Sega Koulibaly is fit and firing to come back on. The players talk a lot this year about the responsibility that they feel in the community to pay that forward, this investment the town has put in, Portland, into the club, off the field, some of the programs they've been engaged in. We've got a great feature at halftime. Excited to show you about some of those efforts. That's coming up, but in the meantime, there's more soccer to be played. Tumi Moshabane and Nga with runway, and Vinberg with a snap reaction cuts it off. It's not a strong showing at fullback today, and now there's openings on this same flank. Varela driving infield, options all around. Gets the ball back off of Karam, and Levy will take it at feet without much bite provided by Portland Hearts of Pine.
Yeah, you see the back and forth, end-to-end action. Both teams now looking to find that breakthrough. Just lacking a little bit quality in that final pass, or maybe a little bit more patience just to slow the game down a little bit when they're entering that final third.
There have been some stodgy games at Fitzpatrick this year. Portland's our team that like to play the antagonist a little bit. Really feels like if you ought to talk about dance partners and what that styles make fights mantra might mean, Charlotte's bringing the best out of this game by the way they've chosen to play.
Yeah, they are. And I got to say, they look pretty comfortable in this match so far. Haven't been tested too much outside of a couple opportunities. But they're giving everything you'd want to see in a match like this. And I think the atmosphere coming off the last loss that they had, they're definitely up for this match, and they're bringing their best through this first 45 minutes.
A goal from Masashi Wada, expertly taken in transition, set up by Ollie Wright. Pegged back moments ago by Nick Spielman at the spot. And is there another twist in the tail before we finish this particular chapter in Portland. The twist up at the top of the area. Kvifta couldn't keep hold. Levy, it's a flatlining clearance that's out for a throw. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, Amiram told it's the player's choice. And with the ball out of play, Portland are poising themselves in position to offer another opportunity late on. Not only Portland Hearts of Pine failed to score a corner, they're the only team in the league that has not scored a headed goal this year. No team has ever gotten to the end of a season without a headed goal, aside from one Fort Lauderdale side in a shortened year in 2020. They get a good look here. Levy just gets the knuckle to it. And with the final accounting and the abacus work for stoppage time, preparing for what has been a fairly free-flowing half, the final assessment from the fourth official. It's 4 minutes.
The fourth official has indicated 4 minutes of added time.
Stoppage time is presented by Visit Maine. And again, there is 4 turns of the clock to it.
Pretty good spell of pressure here from Portland to end this half. Better hold-up play there from Kvifta. They're going to need him to do a little bit better in that phase, just to bring in Wada, bring in Varela, bring in Wright to the attack.
That is a thankless job a lot of times, especially in the modern game, to be willing to post up and be back to goal as a striker. Not necessarily doing the flashbulb lighting things that a lot of nines really hunger to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of dirty work, right? A lot of times you're coming up against one, maybe 2 center backs. A lot of physical battles. See, playing with your back to goal, never an easy thing. They need him. They need him to be a bit better in that hold-up play. Titus Washington, did a great job of that last week for them to stimulate, start some attacks. I think that's one core thing and key thing that they'll be looking to improve on in the second half.
Slashed out for a throw. Charlotte on the prowl and got. It's been a cagey one, and it's lived up to the billet. Charlotte trying to snap out of what has been a very downtrodden turn in their form. Portland so often have pleased the home fans this year, hoping to push themselves back above water in the table. In this venue, nobody has left without at least paying a flesh price and bumps and bruises. It's a bit of a lazy ball back to Levy. Sent a mile high. Koulibaly retreating. Second ball is won by Tumi Moshabane. He's functioned very centrally so far in this game. Now Baquero. And deferring wide for Omar Sis, who brings Clay Dimmick into the game. Overlapping Sorensen. This is a good move burgeoning. Baquero! Not sure if it was a cross or a shot, but it nearly landed at the heart of Portland's goal.
Yeah, you see some good fluid interchanges there in combination play from Charlotte Independence. Baquero, again, the key man, facilitating, making things happen. Dimmick hasn't had many times to make that overlapping run around the right. And then just, again, that last ball maybe needing a little bit more quality or patience to find a teammate who's in a position to strike on goal.
High header, and another from Vinberg. 20 minutes, or 20 seconds, I should say, left to what's allotted on the board. Kvyvta. Ga takes hold and takes it out from his own ends. Scoots away by Punanjaran. Might bring us to a close. Maybe one last go for Portland. Ollie Wrights. What a touch. Right in the box. Now Wada and Messer. At the back post. Varela saved by Levy. Off the post and back into his grasp.
Wow, what a sequence. Right on the halftime whistle. What a sequence there from Portland. Unlucky not to get more out of that. Man, sets it up for a great second half here.
Delicious 45 minutes come and gone in Portland, where it sits dead-eyed at 1 apiece. In the playoff push now in the USL League One, the final match day in August. It is in full flow. These teams have exchanged the very best in themselves through the first 45. The Hennefit halftime report is on tap when we return here in Portland. It is locked up at 1 apiece in this one.
Sounds low. Right. So elbows back.
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window. It's drafty, or maybe it sticks or leaks. You'd love to replace it, but think, no company is coming out for just one lousy window. And truthfully, most companies won't. But we're Renewal by Andersen, and we'll replace just one window. Call Renewal by Andersen today for a free window and door diagnosis. 207-804-4500.
Partnership means a lot of things in this business, and that's the most important thing, is being in a business relationship with someone that you trust, and that's what Mimic does. We want to make sure that everyone is getting exactly what they need, and we want it to be a long-term relationship. At Mimic, we want to lower their total cost of risk, and we want to get those employees back to work whenever we can. At Mimic, we make workers' comp work better.
This is you. When you sign up for Trellis Health, this is your team. Seriously, these people. At Trellis, your primary care provider, physical therapist, pharmacist, health coach, and behavioral health clinician work together for better results. With same-day visits and 24/7, 365 telehealth, your care is primary with us. Become a member today.
Welcome to Trellis Health.
Visit trellishealth.org.
Back from the break, in Portland, Hearts of Pine exists to do as much good in the state of Maine as possible, and soccer is the perfect medium through which to do that work. It is a universal language, a conveyor across culture and class, a cultivator of joy, camaraderie, and common identity.
and accountability and how to find joy and things. And some kids that have had a harder path with things have really shown here.
Portland Public Schools are thrilled to be able to be part of the community ticketing program with Hearts of Pine. We've been meeting with Hearts of Pine since well before they officially launched, but when they reached out and said they'd provide a block of tickets to every school in the district to allow students who wouldn't otherwise get to go attend a game, we were thrilled and super grateful.
I think people forget that when you are in a shelter, you're in a caged environment where you don't have room to play or to be human or to experience community in a different outlet. We did not anticipate the happiness that would come from just them playing a sport that they were passionately involved in.
The way that the world, the way that this community rallies around this game, the way that it unifies, and the way that the club can lean into those things and amplify them, that's where the magic's made.
We want people to see themselves as more than just where they're coming from, but just a part of something bigger.
We have 20, maybe 30 home games, but what are we doing in those other 340 days?
A club that certainly understands what they are here to do and a bolster of this community here in Maine. More coming up at the half when we return.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We don't stop chanting, we don't stop drumming,
yelling and screaming and chanting.
Back from the dead in the 90th minute!
We'll follow them wherever, pretty much. That's just the love that we have for our team.
Strikes with the right and opens the scoring. A dream start for the home side.
Wow, what a strike from Westchester, and it's Prince Sadie. Tonight's halftime is presented by Hannaford, and it is at 1-1 that we sit here in this match. Peyton Kelleher with Amir Lowry. And Amir, the news and notes from around the league and so many exciting developments. I know you have a background in the developmental phase of the game back in DC. The USL Academy is doing such a good job of bringing players through.
It's just so important to have pathways created for young American players. Love to see the USL Academy coming on and growing stronger. Super important just for that development element of USU soccer.
Folks are saying up the ump. I believe that's the word. Greenville Triumph on to the penultimate phase of this first rendition of this particular Jägermeister Cup. They will see Hartford Athletic up next in that one in the semi on September 10th. As for the pertinent scores in and around the division, in Spokane again. As for what is going on around the league, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Folks, take a look.
USL All Access on Sirius XM FC every Tuesday night. Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, we've got all the news around the championship.
This series is a dead heat.
This is the one we've talked about since the end of May.
We'll recap weekly results, talk about player transactions, coaching tactics, and hey, maybe even a guest appearance by some interviews.
Who knows? Sirius XM FC every Tuesday night and the following day on the USL YouTube page and the Sirius XM app.
At LL Bean, we've been innovating for over a century, making great products better so you can feel better. Day after day, year after year. Outside together since 1912. LL Bean. Be an outsider.
I'm David Libby, President and CEO of Town & Country Federal Credit Union. At Town & Country, we work hard to make a difference every day. From providing a first auto loan to that young adult just starting out, or making the dream of home ownership a reality with a mortgage offering closing costs well below nearly every other local lender, or a Visa credit card with a great rate. Town & Country Federal Credit Union is local people helping local people. Let us help you.
Soccer, more than any other sport, brings together fans of different backgrounds, different cultures, different communities, and makes them one community.
Has anyone ever seen anything like this? It's magic. There's no other word for it. It's magic happening here in Portland.
This is history. This is momentous.
We officially have professional soccer in the great state of Maine.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go.
This evening's halftime is presented by Allagash. Halftime highlights.
attempt by Varela, but not enough yet.
Here are those stats, and for Portland, 3 shots on target, much better signs offensively than in recent weeks at home for them, coming off that 3-goal outburst in their last game against Westchester. They hope to continue that into the second half. It could prove pivotal as we return to the live action here. J.C. Griggs sets this frenzied orchestra back to its full chorus. Fans certainly livening their voice, this uproarious atmosphere. Portland Hearts of Pine hoping that that might fill their sails enough to get across the line with all 3 points. They took the lead, they lost it. They will feel themselves in the second half potentially a good suitor to go on and put in a spotlight performance as Baccaro's giving it away. Peyton Gallagher with the former pro Amir Lowry taking in all the sights and sound this game here in Maine today. Koulibaly with the top for Vinberg, and not quite the same measurement there. It's out for a throw. At the break, you noted that the squad deployment today from manager Mike Jeffries really reflected how they thought they would go out and play, and every choice has worked wonders so far for Charlotte in this one.
Yeah, I think he set the team up very nicely, especially coming off of last week's loss. They've considered, obviously, the threats that Portland poses through Messer and through their attacking 3. And now they're countering it well with Sorensen here on the right side, dropping a little bit deeper, making sure that he's tracking those runs. And then, obviously, Maru playing up top, giving a little more verticality and pace in the attack than what we normally see from Christian Cheney.
Anton Sorensen, the Haitian, making his first start since June 12th today, providing a very bespoke kind of player profile, typically a fullback, maybe allowing Fabrice Ngah on the other side to get a little bit higher with that extra defensive cover the other way.
Yeah, you got to think that this has been a calculated move and set up from Mike Jeffries, putting a player there that's going to have pace, is going to be able to get up and down and track those runs of Messer, and then also leaving that space for one of their main attacking threats in Fabrice Ngah.
Works both ways. It's a very shrewd activation of the squad from Mike Jeffries, just in the fact that when you look at the numbers and the share of where the play came for Portland in the first half, so often does, 45% was on this left flank, trying to involve Messer and Ollie Wright, and there is a player down. It's Omar Sis who's ailing.
Yeah, when you have an inverted winger like Ollie Wright, right-footed player coming off the left-hand side, okay, the defenders have to be aware of him drifting inside, drifting into those pockets. That leaves that space for Messer, and they have had success, him getting to the end line, getting good crosses in the box. Hasn't materialized into anything significant yet, but you certainly look for Portland to continue that flow and continue trying to attack and exploit that left-hand side.
You saw firsthand, first half, it only takes one moment for a player like Ollie Wright to be bottled up and then to break free and completely change a game. He has his 5th assist of the year in this one. Back-to-back games with a helper for him. Snatched away, but snatched right back and done so illegally. Foul given. J.C. Griggs only having to make really that one defining decision in the first 45, awarding that penalty. Charlotte Independence with a new lease on life, carving into the attacking third. Dimmick runs out of row. Goal kick.
And it was a definitive decision from the referee to bring the teams level with that penalty call. Just leaves the game on a knife edge here in the second half. Both teams feeling like they can come out of this with all 3 points.
Along to Vinberg as it scurries away for a throw, and as a former player, I gotta imagine the big thing that you're just looking for with a referee is confidence and consistency, and Griggs has exhibited both those things.
Yeah, you got to say he's done a pretty nice job. I'd say outside of that call, the game has had a nice flow to it. Not a lot of ticky-tack fouls, letting the players play physical, letting them get after it. So, pretty good job. I'd say just a little harsh with that one call.
Wada is wriggling. Kvyefta is twisting and toppling, and he has committed the foul. A bit of a bull in the China shop. First touch letting him down just a little bit there. Kavifta did not play last game. On the way to Westchester, had started the one prior. He lost the ball on 14 of his 29 overall touches. Has been much of the same for him, leading the line today with no Titus Washington.
Yeah, I think maybe he can just look to simplify his play a little bit when he gets in those positions. Doesn't have to turn, doesn't have to do anything too fancy. Just has to be that link up. That's going to make sure that we get the ball wide to Varela, get the ball wide to Ali Wright, or you find Wada sitting in behind you. You don't have to do everything by yourself in those moments.
That was a big thing that Bobby Murphy pinpointed after that game. Said that it felt like at times he was just trying too hard almost to open things up. Right now his side in full gate. Ali Wright will arrive and nearly is swiped away. In fact, it is pushed down for a throw, which is taken instantly, and now Mikey Lopez, the captain. Escorting wide. The rondo taking shape. Ali Wright, full stretch, could not summon the strength to keep it on.
And there you see in that picture, Sorensen there, almost looking like a right back here with Dimmick, and how his posture and tactically how he's setting up to stop those attacks down the left side from Portland.
Vinberg pressing the gas. And does win a throw for that extra effort. Just dog-earing that point of Sorensen on the near side. You saw Wada shift in, try and create that overload, and it's way easier to deal with that with Sorensen tucked in like that.
Yeah, it sure is.
Messer, his cross. Tests the goalkeeper. Matt Levy, who had that nervous moment there at the end of the first half, is able to make a much easier job of that. Nathan Messer comes into today leading the USL League One in open play crosses just south of 100 on the year. He'll be above that mark at this point. Wada has roaming room. Just stumbles on the ball a bit. Vinberg first time. It's a throw-in belonging to Charlotte Independence. Portland carrying over that good momentum that they held at the end of the first half into the second one.
Yeah, they are. I'd like to see Varela. We mentioned Varela as a key player at the outset in the pregame. I don't think he's really gotten a foothold in this match, really been able to find a rhythm. We talked about that 1v1 battle between Nga and Varela. I think if they want to really find a breakthrough here and get on top of this match, you're going to have to find more moments for him to get on the ball, either drifting inside a little bit, linking up with his teammates around him. That's when he's going to be at his best.
Only 24 touches for him so far in the game. That is the second least of any outfield player for Portland. Only one with less involvement in the game has been the striker Noah Kavifta, what you would expect. Hardest player in the field to get the ball to. Not dissimilar to Baquero, who rolls in across. In turn, misses out on linking up his number 9, Swebu Maru. Our other player to watch before the game, and both have had limited impact on the overall shape of this one.
Yeah, so far, I think we talked about Baquero picking up some of those good positions. You saw it there again, making that run down the right. Here is on the ball one more time. But Maru not able to really get on the end of any meaningful service.
No foul one way, certainly a foul the other, and probably the first caution of the game. Mikey Lopez straight in the face of Omar Sis, who puts in a professional foul after Baquero had lost it and didn't get the call. It was Portland surging forward with numbers, and that stops the attack. Sis goes in the book.
Yeah, you see here Mikey Lopez breaking towards that last line of defense. Sis with no option really but to bring him down, concede the tactical foul and the yellow card. Of course, Mikey Lopez is going to be a little bit upset about that, but it's just a professional play. Way to stop the attack, allow your team a chance to regroup.
No real effort to play the ball itself, just kind of hooked him from behind. As we set for a free kick, Ollie Wright has the quality to really cause some problems here. Yellow card is brought to you by the law offices of Joe Bornstein, and it provides the opening for Portland to maybe open up the scoring straight away in this second half and really shift the equation. There is a certain buzz of anticipation. Both Messer and Ollie Wright could really test the target. Looks like Sean Vinberg is at least passing a glancing interest at this, as well as Matt Levy waits in goal.
Yeah, 25, 26 yards out here. You can expect one of these players to have a strike straight on goal. I'd expect it coming from the left footer, Messer.
It is Messer who gives it a ride, and right off the top of the wall and out for a corner. Just needed a little bit more clearance, maybe 6 inches.
Yeah, not the easiest position to get that up and down, but good clearance. You'd say the wall's jumping there. I'm not sure who got that final touch, but well defended by the wall to force it over for a corner.
It is a Toms of Maine corner kick. Ollie Wright in his control. Within swing and low, and looped away immediately.
Got to beat that first man with that service.
Lopez goes it again. Ollie Wright the target. Sorensen does a lovely job of keeping it on. Back with Punandron. England starting to really fasten that grip. Messer and Ollie Wright sensing space centrally. Punandron shuffling wide to Nathan Messer. And it will be a throw-in for Charlotte Independence. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Messer. This is not the video game stuff. This is very real life with very real circumstances. Final weekend of August. Everything starts to get a lot more intense these days. Moshabani has a reputation for changing games late. Coin Toomey time in his USL Championship days. Right now it's Nga at the back post, just waiting. And the ball comes coasting over the head of the intended target. Tracked down by Bashir Njai. Sorensen. Njai. Moshabani. Bakero spinning free. Moshabani. This is Quiltwork stuff, passes that rhyme together right now for Charlotte Independence. Nga. Pivots into the opening, the cross comes. Maru off his head. Omar Sis glides it wide.
This is much better from Charlotte Independence. Fabrice Nga twice getting this cross off, this time to the back post. Sis brings it down. Well defended there by Messer to get his body in front of the ball. Possibly divert this strike off target, but a good opportunity from Charlotte. Good sustained pressure there for the past few minutes.
It's been a give and take type of game today. Charlotte have been so proficient in the second half of games. They've also been hit a lot in the second half of games. There's just been that expectation of fireworks when Independents are involved in this 45, and it has been true to form. Moshabani, he's been marvelous today. And right on cue, he gives it away to Vinberg.
He has been good, though, like you mentioned in the first half, and you saw it in the last sequence. He's coming inside, he's finding those pockets, creating that overload, and at the same time leaving that space for Fabrice Nga to have his effect on the attacking end going forward.
He got his professional launch pad in USL League One way back in the day in the first season of this division with Lansing Ignite. Decorated USL Championship career. Back with Charlotte now. Back on the ball. Nga. Quickly corralled in the corner by Mikey Lopez. Now Bakero. John Bakero spots a man in the middle. It's Maru. Hunter Morse on his toes and able to react. And distributing immediately. Kivgifta. Can't keep it on, but it will be a throw-in for Portland. There has been no hesitation in transitioning to the offensive end for either side today.
No, the pace of this game is breakneck. You've seen Charlotte a few times here to start the second half just slowing it down a little bit, putting their foot on the ball, working it through Baquero. That served them nicely, but I think we continue to see more.
What an assist spot, and Tess Levy, who rises to the occasion brilliantly.
And on the other end, another great attacking sequence. We mentioned Varela, great little slip ball to Wada. Tries to find that near post, but a good save there from Levy. Keep the teams level at 1.
Excellent movement from Masashi Wada, just to find that blind spot area in the box. So we'll look to do the same. This Tom's of Maine corner kick provided by Nathan Messer. Well, if there was a time to get the first, it's right about now. That's a useful ball, but collected by Levy without much interest shown from Portland Hearts of Pine. At what point you wonder when these two managers might go to the dugout and try and shift the flow of play with a substitution. Oh, that's beautiful. Silky smooth. It's Varela. Meat on the bone.
Yeah, he'll want this one back. Gets into a great position. Good piece of combination play, little back heel flick. Then he's driving into the box, senses his moment. Just on his unfavored foot there, the left foot. Looks like he's trying to strike that low and hard to the far post. Couldn't get his technique right. Maybe a little bit, ball's a little bit too far away from him. But this is good industry, good work here from from Portland, excuse me. And then nice to see Varela popping up in a bit of a different space.
Not sure if it was just the reshuffle off the corner kick in that second phase or if that was tactical, but Varela trading wings and making some impact there. Moshabane lobbing one up towards Maru. It looks like JT Kamara, who had been the typically tabbed starter, is being put through the final checklist. You see him standing with the fourth official, waiting for his moment to come on. We'll see who he replaces. Should get his window right here as Nathan Messer is plowed over. Referee will signal for that change. JT Kamara injected into the contest. A brilliant soloist and one of the best take-on artists in the league. He completed 8 dribbles the last match against Charlotte Independence, the second most in USL League One history. He gets his moment as he replaces Walter Varela. Substitution made. That substitution is brought to you by $3 Deweys.
Yeah, Kamara, shifty player, very quick. Going to be aggressive in moments where he can find a 1v1 opportunity. I think this is a little bit predictable. They didn't get enough, didn't get as much as they wanted from Varela tonight.
Wada sensing the keeper off his line and may have taken some paint from the posts.
Looked like it might have been a deflection there. I think that was Punanjaroon with the strike. Let's see here. Oh no, you're right, it's Wada from distance there, trying to take the strike on, trying to catch the keeper off guard. Good technique. Just couldn't get over it, directed on goal like he wanted to.
He is forcing the game to his feet right now.
Yeah, and they need that. I think they need some players who are going to step up here, take a little bit more initiative and be a little bit more ambitious, just to take matters into their own hands. Need some people to step up and take responsibility if you're on either team now.
JT Kamara wasting no time to endear the fans. A little extra effort with fresh legs off the bench. This is a bit of a tough spell trying to sweep up for Javen Romero, but he does work it out. And Portland have their press torn apart. Baquero. There are quickly emerging numbers with the cavalry on the charge for Charlotte Independence. Baquero wide for Sorensen. What does he have in mind? Unable to split two, but he gets it back. Laid off. Maru, it's blocked. It was actually Bashir Njai at the top of the area. He found himself free off a chaotic sequence, and with that shot sprayed in, it will be a goal kick. Whole slew of bodies in the mixer there for Charlotte Independence. They fabricate something oh so quickly.
Yeah, it's tight in there. You can see it. I like the pass effort, the previous effort from Sorensen, trying to take players on, trying to get into the box. did well. Ball bounced his way. Unlucky from LaRue not to get a better strike off on goal.
Carroll sticks up for a second on its way back to Divick. Heavy touch from Levy. Spiked the heart rate and not really taking any chances as he plays the ball out of play. And Kamara. And still JT Kamara. He was moving too quickly. Pep in his step.
Yeah, he does, and he's going to want to bring some energy. His team is going to be relying on him to bring that energy here as we enter the last 25 minutes of the match.
You can just tell in the way he's injected himself into the game that he is not necessarily happy with a bench role. Had started the 8 games previous to the last one. And he is taking the game straight to Charlotte Independence. Christian Chaney is being prepared, the leading light of the Charlotte Independence side. He'll bring 9 goals with him, scored on the campaign in the league. He receives his opening. This substitution is brought to you by $3 Deweys. That is day done for Swebu Maru, who really just never got the service he needed today.
Yeah, I'd say he was effective in moments. You saw that last strike, he got on goal. He couldn't really get his foot around it to make the keeper make a save, end up getting blocked. But Christian Chaney, what can you say? Second leading scorer in the league, brings a tremendous amount of experience to this Charlotte side. Great time for him to enter this match and look for him to make his mark.
Chaney is a completely different type of number 9. One of those that likes to kind of linger beyond the back line. Sometimes it will lead to him being offside. Does lead the team in that department. But you always have to be mindful as a defender that he's back there somewhere in the tall grass.
Yeah, as a defender, that player playing off your back shoulders, always going to make you wonder, always going to make you second guess things at times. And Christian Chaney will be looking to do that, especially the way that they're playing here with balls in behind.
Thrust out for a throw, and the contentments of the Portland supporters, it belongs to the home side. Spielman. The game has settled into a little bit of a lull for that firecracker first 10 or 15 minutes. Spilled to the midfield. Koulibaly gets it off his foot quickly. Skips into Sorensen. Sorensen could not slip in Baquero, and Ollie Wright, who shadowed the play, has it in tow now. Messer. Ollie Wright. Swiveling by Sorensen, and now Poonanjaran. Ollie Wright so far on the season in this venue has been much more comfortable. He averages about 13 and a half more touches at home and 12 more passes at home per game. He is the one that makes things go. He has not had his customary type of influence in this one. JT Kamara dropping in and perfectly piercing a ball forward. Vinberg! Who would have thought? It's Sean Vinberg, his first Portland goal. Pushes the home side ahead and makes it 2-1.
Phenomenal team goal here by Portland. Lovely celebration. I think that's a gritty he was doing, running backwards there. You see his teammates, you see the crowd. Electric celebration there. Kamara picks up the ball in the pocket on the half turn. They're exploiting that space there on the left side of Charlotte's defense. And that's a cool finish from the fullback to the far post. Good technique, strikes low and hard through the ball. Nothing the keeper can do. He's rooted to the spot, can't even dive there, in off the post. Beautiful goal, beautiful endeavor. 2-1 to Portland.
I'll finish that sentence there, not so beautiful in the celebration. But the goal counts. He takes his moment and sets the Flares alight. That is a center back finishing like that in transition.
Yeah, Gritty could have been better, but the finish, I don't know if the finish could have been any better.
A goal for Portland. It is presented by Town and Country. And as they often have been, it looks like they will be the toast of it again if they can hold their resolve. Whole new game.
Whole new game now, and you can see how the tactical battle is just shaping up. You imagine that both managers are looking for those weak spots. They found one there, Portland did, exposing the space that Fabrice and Guy has been leaving, right? And then they're making that run forward into the space down the right side with Kamara tucking in to pick up the ball in the half turn. Perfect way to exploit the way that Charlotte's leaving those gaps, and it worked like a charm.
Becerra forcing the ball back to Punandron. Yeah, you don't want to get lost in the significance of the goal. What a ball from JT Kamara.
Great weight on that pass. I think that's something that you could overlook at times. You know, you see a willing runner, you see the space behind, okay, but it's the weight of the pass, the direction of the pass that's really going to allow the attacking player to do something productive with it.
He's on the ball here. And he sweeps over to Ollie Wright. Sorensen stepping in front. Punandron and Wada. Portland looking for a knockout blow. Wada receiving in the box. Snatched away by Spielman. Foul given. Vinberg scores his first goal of the year for Portland. Kamara with his first provision, his first league assist of the year. Big player stepping up in a big moment. John Vinberg is the 10th distinct Portland player to score a goal in the league in their maiden campaign. It's a community effort, and you feel it in the grandstands. Ball on a play for a throw.
It just speaks to the importance of having that depth in the squad. Varela, we talked about, wasn't doing as much as he could potentially for the team. Kamara is a great option to bring off the bench this last 30 minutes. A little bit of tired legs from his defensive opposition. And hey, he's able to exploit those spaces pretty quickly, getting an assist in the first 10 minutes since he's been on the pitch.
How have you liked the response so far and posture from Charlotte after going behind again?
I mean, I think now they got to press forward. They got to release a little bit. They got to take a little bit more risk. It should open the game up on the other side for Portland a little bit more. But they made this change with bringing in Christian Cheney. Got to think they're still going to have an attack-minded posture and want to get back in this game very quickly.
Charlotte have struggled so mightily in the recent weeks and months. Similar trajectory to how things finished for them last year, where they were only able to claim victory one or two times in those last couple months of the year. Cheney on the front foot, and Jai has gone down in a heap. Referee has evaluated things and decided not to blow the whistle. Now, it should also be said that Charlotte Independents have gotten the most goals this year from substitutions of any team in the league, with 9. So there is plenty of arrows to pull from the quiver for Mike Jeffries to maybe get something on the road in the late show. Wada, you see 3 of them standing prepped and ready. Wada. And I think Kivifta dropped in from an offside position. So Raphael Howergy, who for the first time this year comes off the bench, thrown into the game for Becerra, who had been at the controls all game long. These substitutions, by the way, brought to you by $3 Dewey's. Christopher Jaime as well. Shabane. I think this is more so than anything just livening up that attacking personnel.
Yeah, you have to. Looking at these last 15, 20 minutes of the match, including stoppage time, got to make a couple changes, get some fresh legs on. Team has worked hard They need to find some more energy, some more life, some more liveliness, really, to find a breakthrough and to create some meaningful chances here as we enter the last 15 minutes of the match.
Final alteration was Juan David Moreno being thrown into the game. Those wholesale changes can have a double-edged effect as the ball comes screaming out of play for a goal kick. One hand, it can really put a defense on the back foot as they try and adjust quickly. On the other, it can really alter the defensive organization, the team that's made the change.
Yeah, you do have to have those scenarios mapped out, and you have to really think through these things very deliberately as you're approaching matches like this. You never know what's going to happen, when you'll be playing from in front, when you'll be playing from behind. And we'll look to see here how quickly, tactically, Charlotte can adapt with these changes and quickly find a rhythm to try to get back in this game.
Punanjaran, that's neat and tidy. JT Kamara just left the ball behind him. Mikey Lopez, rather that Vinberg ripping it away. And Wada, and now it's Kamara again. Prodding and probing, and with persistence has a throw in. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and the ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Lobbed in by Vinberg. At this point is the one who is the hero. His goal sets the side apart. It was early on. A goal contributed by Masashi Wada. Spielman leveled things from the spot for Charlotte. And in the 69th minute, it is a moment of a high level of significance. Also a nice moment as well for Sean Vinberg as he gets his first goal for Portland Hearts of Pine and gets them back out in front. In for Spielman. Hazard to guess that Portland will be happier to sit lower and lower. Vinberg was not to be outwitted there. He's put in a 5-star performance in a not natural position for him. First start of the year at right back today. Saw it late against Westchester. He will have to dig deeper and deeper on his side. Entrenched late on. Mikey Lopez scraping the ball away. It's Ollie Wright by one, by another. Ollie Wright, smooth and in for JT Kamara, who puts it home without a hesitation or a glance. Portland are flying. It's 3-1.
Chef's kiss with the finish there from Kamara. Look at the impact that he's had since he came in the match. Goal and assist very quickly, just showing how important he is to his Portland side and what a team goal this is. Great skill here, great breakthrough past that first defender, second defender. Then he finds again a great weight on the pass. Has a man to his side, elects to go alone. And cool finish into the back of the net from Kamara. Gets his head up, sees the keeper, reads the situation, right? Clinical to bring his side 2 goals ahead. Looking to secure all 3 points here.
A little bundle of joy. JT Kamara adds another to his account. It's a goal and an assist for him off the bench. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the full scene and array of passion that Portland can provide. When they get running, it always feels like they're running downhill at home. That goal was brought to you by Town & Country. And that foul was brought to you by J.C. Griggs. It was a harsh collision as well. Back-to-back games with a trio of goals, twin performances offensively for Portland Hearts of Pine. By the way, they came into this game really struggling for offense, had gone the second longest amount of time before they scored against Westchester, that they had gone all year without a goal at 241 minutes. They then proceeded to score 3 goals in the next 17. And that guy, well, I think, yeah, he would say it's neat. They're doing pretty well.
Certainly. Coach is going to be happy with that effort.
Jaime gave it a ride.
Yeah, Bobby Murphy's going to be very happy with the effort and the industry, the aggression that his team is showing in these moments. Right, clearly he's giving them the instructions that we're going for all 3 points. We're going to lay everything on the line for these 3 points, and his team have responded. He soaked up a good amount of pressure there on that sequence that led to the goal, won the ball back and bursted forward. Right, now they're sitting in a very comfortable position in control of this match.
Jaime has won it high. Cheney trying to get one back. Missed at the first effort, and the door quickly closes. Yellow card has been shown to somebody. As play recommences. On the Charlotte side of things, Mike Jeffries will have his head in his hands. This ball comes in. Official word, Mikey Lopez was the man that went in the book. Charlottes are inhabiting the box. He's on a play. Mike Jeffries, though, looking at how this team has performed defensively, they need to get this back with a corner, a Tom's of Maine corner kick. Conceding 14 goals since the end of the month of July. As the ball comes, they've dug themselves a hole here again today. And Gaw chesting down. Kamara grabs it up and backheels brilliantly. There's exploratory room on the back end. Jaime able to tame it and turn it out of play. There's the official confirmation. Mikey Lopez once more finds himself with a yellow card. That is his 8th of the year. Always important to keep a mindful eye on the accumulation suspensions that can happen this time of year. Lopez have to wrestle with that potentially down the stretch. Good pressure there in the counter-pressing effort from Portland. Nearly won it back. It's out for a throw, and they have readied a couple changes. We'll see if they come here. Smashed away. Good step from Kamali Green, who fumbles the ball away, but Ollie Wright happy to latch on. Sorensen got enough of a look to take it off course, and now the counter bruise. Yanked back by Punandron. He knows the yellow's coming. He runs away to his corner anyway. Patrick Langlois will add some defensive solidity at the back and in midfield, as well as another run out for Evan Southern, who has found the field in back-to-back home games. He's not played that much this year, only making his 6th appearance of the season. These substitutions provided by $3 Deweys, and will be strikerless, at least an immediate effect. Southern, a player that can kind of do a little bit of both as a narrow forward.
Kafifta and Punandron putting in a good shift for the side tonight. Punandron very tidy on the ball, working well in that double pivot with Mikey Lopez. Now Langlois coming on just to solidify the result.
Probably smart game management from Bobby Murphy to see one of his players immediately booked, get him off. And they could add even more still. Left behind Langlois, Wada has not given up the rope. Players down for Charlotte, but there is advantage to be had. One David Moreno. Lassoing the ball up the line. A stutter at the top of the area, flicked on into Cheney, who muscles through and is denied at point blank. Was it helped out of play, or was it just a missed effort? It looks like it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, this is another good sequence, good effort from Charlotte. He's got defenders draped all over him. He's trying to flick it up so he can get a decisive touch. Ball is just running away from him, can't bring it under control to get a strike. Dangerous opportunity from Charlotte. As you see Mikey Lopez here now, looks like he's just got a little bit of cramp. He's put in a lot of running. Great shift for the team this game, and like he always does, the captain, the leader, right, sacrificing and always setting the example for this group.
It was so good to catch up with both he and Bobby Murphy. If you're watching the excellent series being aired on this first year of operation for Portland Hearts of Pine, Up the Hearts, Mikey Lopez talked at length about how he felt like the next chapter of his career was in coaching and felt like this would be a great place to sit with Bobby Murphy, to absorb everything he can and maybe jumpstart that coaching career. He has been that organizer as the captain this first year of operation for Portland.
Yeah, you can sense his leadership of this squad. When he's out there, you can sense how much he means to the team, just his experience, how much he's been around the game.
And Jai moved along. Moreno. Ball comes fluttering out of play. Not quite sure who got the final touch for Charlotte Independence there. Looked like Cheney was in the region.
Yeah, looked like it may have been a corner there. Not too many Charlotte players protesting, but better overall from Charlotte. Those last two sequences, they're finding some moments. Subs that they brought on are starting to make a little bit of a difference. If they can bring one back, could have an exciting end to the match. They got to get that first one back though.
Pele Uzmanu sent in, a center back by trade. He's been used late game, basically more than anybody on this Charlotte team this year. He's been subbed on 13 times this season, but that is most normally to provide security. Maybe a shift to a back three as Charlotte go for broke.
Yeah, they don't have much time now here to do something. Got to make some changes if you're Mike Jeffries to try to get back in this game. If that means sacrificing a defender, so be it.
It looks like Spielman's doing the McGuire. He's playing striker now. Flicked on. Ollie Wright at full gates. Him and the keeper. It's Ollie Wright. Portland's main character delivers all 3 points in style.
Yes, Ollie Wright. You'd be surprised if he didn't get on a score sheet in a game like tonight. He's done well. He's turned provider. He stayed ready. He stayed dangerous. And this one falls right into his path. One-on-one with the goalkeeper, Levy. And a cool finish. Nothing less you'd expect from him and his offensive production through the year. It's just a clearance and a flick on from maybe the shortest player on the field. And you can see the speed from Ollie Wright. He assesses the situation, draws the keeper in. Easy finish down to the right, the left hand of the goalkeeper into the bottom right-hand corner of the net. Fully deserved 4-1 lead. Looks like they got all 3 points in the bag now.
Ollie Wright, their Technicolor talents, their talisman, has the final word. A goal and an assist on the day. It's consecutive games of that same fashion, and that will be his last act. It is a serenade from the Hearts faithful. The Durko Union plays him out at full brass. Mickey Riley replaces him, and Portland, having scored the most goals they ever have in USL League One play, are soaring to what would be a result that has them well above the playoff line again. Masashi Wada exits as well, and it is Portland Hearts of Pine at their ever-living best. Natty James thrown back in. Portland were up 1-0. They saw that lead slip away, and they had a couple choices they could make. They chose to come out and seize the day.
They sure did, and they sure have. You know, it looked like there was a moment there where Charlotte was level, at least in terms of what they were willing to offer in this game. But I think there's just been too much on the side of Portland, whether it's the crowd, whether it's the moment, whether it's their feeling that, okay, we can get in the playoffs in our inaugural season and really make a push at potentially winning something. I think all of those things came to a head, and it's a special night for them. Look at the confidence that this has given this group, or this could give this group, and the momentum as they continue into this home stretch.
All there is left at this point is cosmetic. Stoppage time coming soon. Those folks, I don't think they're really worried about that at this point in time.
Full-on party atmosphere at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Fans are loving it.
In one hand, you probably would imagine the logical thing to do would be to not want much stoppage time so the game can end and you can get your result. On the other, it looks like a pretty good party. You may want to go on out there in the supporter section. Ball into the box. Hunter Morse, what a highlight. Why not?
Yeah, one of the only saves he's had to make tonight. Not sure if that one's going on frame, but he's ready for it.
The fourth official has indicated 5 minutes.
5 minutes of Visit Main stoppage time. Natty James. Is there a fifth? It's Southern. He's taken just too heavy a settling touch, and it's out for a corner kick. Maybe now is when they score the corner kick goal. It's a Toms of Maine corner kick. Typically, Nathan Messer, Ollie Wright will take these. It looks like it's going to be Southern. Short into Natty James. See what kind of role he might be able to carve out. A very talented player playing in the States for the first time in his career. Trinidadi international that spotlighted at the Gold Cup. Only played 17 minutes, Natty James, since the start of August, but had 4 minutes against Westchester. Kamara got a nibble, nothing more. On the other side of this one, wearing the other shoe is Charlotte Independence, who continue these hemorrhaging games in which they've conceded so many goals. Kamara is just teasing. It's Riley. Mickey Riley certainly got everybody up and going, got the blood pumping. It's another Thompson Maine corner kick.
Charlotte has to be careful there. They're going to end up conceding a fifth. And I understand trying to get back into the game. You're moving a center back forward, but goal difference still does matter, right? As it comes down to these last few games and, you know, looking at the playoff picture. So they just got to stay in this. Portland looks like they're going for the fifth.
It rolls away and on the break. That's a good ball. Sifting forward for Cheney, who returns it. Sega Koulibaly is having none of it. Cheney gets it back, though. Cheney at the end line and blocked out by Kamali Green, who looked like he might have been the GOAT earlier in this game, having given away the penalty. He puts in the cover at the end. It's out for a corner.
Yeah, and if we look at the whole picture of this match, you got to say Koulibaly, Green, the whole back four for Portland, Morse. They've all looked very solid, not giving up a lot of clean opportunities or looks at goal.
Kamara on the back end of that corner, cantering out on the counter. Freeman on the wide side, Freeman everywhere. Natty James for a tap in. It is a very high five from Portland Hearts of Pine. Oh, they're going to disallow the goal for offside. Looked like Natty James had wriggled past the last man and won custody of the ball clean, but they will give the offside, and hopefully that's not for the last tap from Evan Southern.
That line was very tight. I thought if he left that to his teammate, maybe he was in behind and onside. But either way, Natty James looked like he might have been just a step offside or a fraction. Unlucky not to get that.
It was always a little bit greedy. Kamara loses the foot race. Romero. Still Javen Romero, I should say. Hargy, a settling touch and a spin. Falls free to Messer. He gets clear. Charlotte trying to save face a little bit. And Gaw. just no way through. Another ball across the box. Tick, tick, tick. Moreno. Off the head of Mikey Lopez. On David Moreno. That is a spectacular goal. It won't count for much. But one, David Moreno. A little punch one home at the last, and it is Spielman that's in the face of Hunter Morris.
Yeah, looks like too late for Charlotte here. You see Spielman trying to get the ball, trying to restart it quickly. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough for them, but well won back. Moreno here cuts inside on his favorite left foot. Needed tidy finish. Goalkeeper might have been unsighted, but like I said, just a little too late for Charlotte. Just not going to be able to get back in this game, scoring that late in stoppage time.
Fans getting their money's worth. It's been an exciting game, full of goals. There's 1-1 at the break. It's 4-2 now. And it might even grow still. Wide for Kamara, who's tormenting and tangling and tangoing. Is still JT Kamara. And play is dragged back.
I didn't see a foul there. Great piece of individual skill. Love to see both these teams going for it right until the final whistle.
And there it is. Pulling Hearts of Pine. That'll do. 4-2 the final score.
Yeah, you got to say it's a fair score line. Full credit to Bobby Murphy, the way he set up his team, the players, the crowd, the atmosphere, the environment here. Portland Hearts, just top notch, second to none. Fully well deserved by Portland tonight to get the victory.
The play of the match, plenty to pick from, not spoiled for choice. It's presented by LL Bean. It was an all conditions type of performance. Vinberg's goal, though, expertly finished, just so clinical from the right back on the overlap, and that would put Portland in the driver's seat. They would not look back.
Yeah, and we talked about this at the outset, you know, that space that Fabrice Ngah was going to leave and how Portland was going to exploit those spaces in between the center back and the left back. You saw it there play out in real time. They scored 2 goals from that position late in the game to take the lead and to get on top of things.
The man of the match is the one who changed it. It's presented by Trellis, and it's JT Kamara. What a performance from him.
Yeah, shifty player, crafty player. Came on, affected the game in various ways, but it was his energy, the confidence that he brought to the team, the way he brought his teammates into the attack and into the game that really made the difference.
So as the final bell tolls, the final score is presented by Apres as Portland Hearts of Pine. A performance for the memory. They win it 4-2. More as we pick through the bones of it on the other side of a break. Post-game coverage coming up.
Start seeing possibilities others might miss. Hannaford has been at this since 1883, supporting local farmers and making quality food affordable. Turns out, it's possible to take care of people and the planet we share by going the extra mile for what really matters. See all this good? At Hannaford, it's the small moments of care that add up to make a big difference for all of us. Hannaford, all for good.
At PAPE, we've dedicated over 50 years to making sure you do better. That means better prices you can always count on. It means you'll find extensive inventory. It means you can expect top-notch service. And most of all, it means you'll work with a team that listens to what you need and makes it a priority. So why are we so driven to make sure you do better? Because at PAPE, the only thing we love more than cars is people.
They'd be applauding all night if they would let them keep the lights on. Here at Fitzpatrick Stadium, where it finishes 4-2 Portland Hearts of Pine over Charlotte Independence. The Apres final score, bringing to you what was an excellent game. Peyton Kelleher here with Amir Lowry, and Amir, it was a thrill show right from the off in the first half.
At the end of the match there in stoppage time, but all he saw was green grass and the goalkeeper ahead of him. Knew he wanted to get himself on the score sheet after having such an impact. Well-deserved goal for him.
And the save of the match comes in the 90th minute, presented, of course, by Kennebec Savings Bank. And Hunter Morse just had to do something. Really didn't have anything to do all game.
Had to do something.
Final stats presented by Renewal by Anderson, and it was on a sturdy foundation that Portland were able to secure this result. 7 goals for them over the last 2 games, and talk about getting hot in this important stretch of the calendar. Portland doing exactly that. You can see that picture in the numbers.
Yeah, momentum is confident. Momentum is everything, and confidence is everything in this moment. You can see it over the past couple of games. They've really come alight. They'll be looking to continue this form through the rest of the season and continue their form to make sure they maintain their playoff position.
Well, that was fun. Portland Hearts of Pine had the place jumping right from the opening bell. Masashi Wada, JT Kamara, Ollie Wright, and of course, Sean Vinberg of all people. The men who are the 4 horsemen for Portland Hearts of Pine on what will be a famous result over Charlotte Independence, as Portland push for the playoff line. For my partner Amir Lowry and our entire fantastic casting crew, folks, I've been Peyton Geller. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.